Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a flip through of my reading journal from 2025. This is a Tiefossi dot grid journal, A5, and it's in the color lavender. And as you can see, it's pretty chunky. It's been able to hold up, the spine is still intact, and it doesn't look like there's any damage. So it's been holding up pretty well. So let's open it up. So the first page that we have here is a quote page, and I was able to decorate it with a whole bunch of purple stickers and purple ephemera. This is my cover page. So here we have my reading goals. The reading goal for 2025 was to read 40 books, and I was able to read 56. And on this side here we have a bingo board, and I have this little tip in here that I wrote down the names of the books that pertain to each bingo. Now the only difference for 2026 is that this is going to be 2 pages instead of just 1. It was too difficult writing down the names here in the back, so I just decided to make it into 2 spreads instead of just 1. Here we have all the books that I read in 2025. This is a little Dutch store, which I have one more book here in the back, but for 2026 I'm planning just to have just 2 pages instead of 4. – 2025 was the first year that I did the challenge of reading 25 in 2025. I was not able to complete it. I missed out 5 books. I tried to start the Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn tandem read, but it ended up being the worst timing because I got really busy. And so I had to just put pause on it. Hopefully this year I'll be able to do that tandem read. And here I have some goals that I wanted to accomplish in 2025. I was able to join a reading challenge, complete a series, and read a book in Spanish. And this here is a genre challenge that I had. I was able to complete 10 out of the 12. And in case you can't see, I was able to read romance, fantasy romance, historical fiction, contemporary romance, children's literature, young adult, nonfiction, mystery, horror, and thriller. Here we have my series tracker. I think for 2025 I just completed 3 series. The Belladonna, Shepherd King, and the Powerless trilogy. I will be continuing the Kinder's Curse, Throne of Glass, Moonfall, Curse Breakers, and the Fae and Alchemy for next year. And if I get to complete Heartstopper, I'll try to do that one too. Here's a list of my future reads. I was only able to read 3 of them, but that's okay. I always add more than I can read in here, so it's just a way to track them down. And I had a little Dutch store here, so I just ended up putting some animes that I wanted to watch. I didn't have a specific place for them, so I just put them here. And then here we have a little overview of my monthly favorites. And then on this side we have the top 10 matrix. The top 3 were Just for the Summer, Don't Let the Forest In, and The 7-Year Slip. And then these are all the TV shows, movies, and games that I ended up playing. This is the year in adventure in Eldia, and I ended up making a little Dutch door for it. and you can see all the months, the prompts for that month, and then the book. I really like how this layout came out. This here is a new page where I have all my stats for 2025. Here I have that I read 56 books, 22,413 pages. The average time that it took me to read was 9 days. And the top genres were romance, fantasy, contemporary, young adult, and historical. I have 96% fiction, 4% nonfiction. And for format, I have 63% audio, 30% print, and 7% digital. The first book that I read in the year was Foxglove, and then the last one was Little Thieves. I discovered 42 new authors, and I gave 3 5 stars, which was Just for the Summer, The 7-Year Slip, and Don't Let the Forest In. And I only bought 1 new book. So this page was supposed to be the first line of the book. I ended up running out of space, and then I always kept forgetting to write it, because once I started I forgot that I needed to write it down. So for some of them I was able to go back and write them down, and for others I just completely forgot. And because I kept forgetting, this spread is not going to be in my 2026 reading journal. And then here's the start of my monthly pages. I really like how this layout came out. And if you see some pages like this, it's because either I wasn't completely in love with the book, or I just didn't have like the right stickers or ephemera to make a little spread. And sometimes I just didn't have enough time to make a spread, so I just tried to make something cute out of it, and I added like the names of the characters and a little quote. I actually really like how this layout looks, because I ended up writing some quotes from the book, and I usually don't write quotes in my other spreads. See, like this one here, I didn't write any quote, I just wrote my thoughts on the book. Here we have February. I really like this sticker, it's so pretty. In 2025, I also included some anime pages, and this was one of the first animes that I watched in 2025, which was Cherry Magic, and I thought it was so cute. Here we have March. March is when I started to change my layout a bit. I noticed that they were just a little too cramped on the right hand side, so I started to add the names of the books on the left hand side under the title or the month. And then I had a little bit more space here to put down stats or if I watched any more media. And I think I also started to add a picture of my favorite book of the month. Yeah, these two I didn't add anything. Yeah, this one doesn't have it, this one either. This one does. I really liked Lights Out. I was surprised that I actually liked it. This book, Icebreakers, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I really like how the spread came out. This is another anime, The Apothecary Diaries, the first season. And here we have April, and April is also the magical readathon. So I made a little spread for that too. So I added a whole bunch of Dutch stores so I could add like the syllabus and the actual reads for that month. And here, this one has a little pocket with the supplementary qualifications. And this one flips open. And here we have the Dragon Rescue. And we'll continue on to the spreads. This is another anime which is called Frieren. I absolutely love this. I can't wait until the next season comes out. Here we have May, and this is another readathon, which is the Goober readathon. And here we have the study plan, and these are all the books that I was able to read within the each categories. I started watching Anne with an E, and I fell in love with that show. It was so cute. So I ended up making a little spread for it. Here we have June. The 7-Year Slip. I think this is the first book I gave 5 stars to for the year. And here we have this, That's Not My Name. I really like this book. It was really good. We have Out of the Woods. I was finally able to use these stickers of like camping because it matched with the theme of the book. Then I did a rewatch of the Twilight series. And over here I have a little spread for the Nana B&B with 17. Here we have July. In July I only read 1 book, but I was able to watch a couple of more animes and movies. Here's season 2 for Apothecary Diaries. And then I watched Yona of the Dawn. K-pop Demon Hunters. And here we have August. This is a K-drama, When Life Gives You Tangerines. It's so good. You need to watch it if you haven't watched it. Here is September, and this is also another month for the magical readathon. And so I wanted to use kind of like either dark or light academia, or just academia in general with lots of neutral colors for the theme. These are the books I ended up reading for the autumn equinox. And over here I have the sticker for the level I'm at now, which is Adapt, and then also any scrolls that I ended up using for that month. Just for the Summer is another book that I gave 5 stars to. And I also watched Over the Garden Wall. I really like this show. We ended up dressing up as Wart and Greg for Halloween, and I ended up making the cape and the hat, and then I bought some pants and I made them into shorts and made little overalls for them too. Here's October. In October, I ended up being part of the Bewitched challenge hosted by Erin. And here we have like a little tab where I put all the rules. And this was the first time I did a TBR for a month. I think I was only able to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I started reading this one, but I didn't finish it, so I was able to read 6 of them. And then over here, I have the scoring. Don't Let the Forest In was another 5-star. This one would have been 5 stars as well. I'm not sure why I didn't give it, which was a dowry of blood. This was a close 5-star. And this one too, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I found these cute stickers at the dollar store, and I thought they would match with the Halloween theme. And here we have November. I really like these stickers of them baking. It's really pretty. Those are from Sticky. I really like how this spread came out, but the funny thing is that I wasn't a huge fan of this book, but I wanted to make like a cute spread for it. It's Not Hysteria. I think this is the only nonfiction book that I read this year. Next year I definitely want to try to read a few more nonfiction. And then December, which is the last one. This is in December. There's also Lightfall, which is hosted by G from Book Roast that does the magical readathon. I did another little spot here to put these pages for the Lightfall. And I was able to get 1 bingo at least. And here we have the books that I read. I still need to fill out my thoughts for these. And for December, I ended up watching a lot of holiday movies, so I wanted to make like a little spread for them. The pictures are really blurry actually, and the printer did not do them justice, but I can still tell what they are. And then this here is like little wrapping paper that I had, and I use it as a little background. And here I made a little spread with the top 10 books. Number 1 was Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. Then we have Don't Let the Forest In. Then The 7-Year Slip. Then we have Lights Out, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, Onyx Storm, First Time Caller, That's Not My Name, One True Loves, and Glow of the Everflame. And then I ended up using some washi tapes to match the beginning of the book spreads that I had. And here we have all the books that I read in 2025. I'm just missing a few here. I'm still waiting to print out a couple more things, and then I'll print those out and add them. And yeah, I have a few pages left, but not many. That is my 2025 reading journal. I had so much fun making this journal, and I really like this journal itself. It's, you know, like I said earlier, it's still holding on. I was able to add many little stickers and ephemera and for the most part, I don't think any of the ink from my pens and markers bled through, so I really enjoyed this journal. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.